Hey there, everybody. Jersey Rick, Fire Officer Leadership Academy. Last two videos, I've talked about some foolish acts that I witnessed. Let me tell you about one of mine. When I first went into the Air Force, I was in two branches of the military, by the way, the Air Force and the Marine Corps. And before I was able to get into firefighting in the Air Force, I worked out on the flight line on F-4E Phantom II fighter jets. To work on the plane, you were supposed to have a work order. You're supposed to take your toolbox out with you and the tech manual with you. Well, we had this plane that had been sitting in the hangar for months being worked on. It was a Hangar Queen. And we were working on a Saturday, and this bird was going to go on a functional check flight. That's where the pilot and the guy in the rear seat are going to go strap themselves into this thing after it's been worked on for a long period of time, and they're going to really put it through its max performance. So the crew chief comes to me and he says, "Hey, Rick, the gun camera is busted. We need to take it out." I asked him if there was a work order. He says, "No, no, no, there's not a work order, Rick." He said, "We just need to get this thing out. This bird needs to fly." So I said, "Well, okay." I went and I checked out the toolbox, got the manual. First foolish thing. I went out there and I locked up the toolbox in the hangar and left the tech manual. That stuff was supposed to be with me. I took the Allen wrench that I needed to get the camera off the top of the instrument panel with me. I don't have a work order. The wing job control has no idea that I'm working on this plane, just me and the crew chief. And I get up there and I put the Allen wrench in the screw and I'm pushing, tink, 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 tink. The Allen wrench pops off and falls down behind the instrument panel. Now I got to go back to the hangar and get the guy who is the instrument man. Big talk guy. Well, he lets me have it. He outranked me too. And he's jamming his finger in my chest, telling me how he's going to kick my sorry butt up and down the flight line if we don't get this thing out. So now there's three of us working on this plane, unauthorized. And he pulls out the instruments. He gets three of them out and he says, "There it is." And he gets his magnet and he pulls it out. And then he dressed me down again. And he says, "Next time," he says, "get a long piece of string, tie one end around your wrist and the other end around the Allen wrench. So if this happens, you're able to pull it out." I was like, "Hey, that's a good idea. Why didn't I think of that ahead of time?" But that was a pretty foolish act on my part to give in to my buddy, the crew chief, to go out there. But fortunately, we got it all out. The two pilots, they came out and they got in that thing and they flew it and all was well. So that's my foolish act story. Well, just one of many of my foolish act stories. See you later. Bye.